Oh boy. Oh dear. Here we go. All right, guys. We are ready for the Survivor Series review. I'm glad everyone could make it to the Survivor Series review. This Survivor Series review is gonna be great. Yeah, can't wait for this Survivor Series review. Tonight on the Survivor Series review, I'm gonna be reviewing Survivor Series. And that's going to entail me reviewing every match and possibly every superstar and review their performances. This is a Survivor Series review. Guys, let's get into it. Um, I just want to say thank you to everyone watching this Survivor Series review. Pretty much, this is going to entail me reviewing Survivor Series. So I would just like to say thank you, everyone, for watching this Survivor Series review. This is going to be a great Survivor Series review, and it's going to entail me reviewing the superstars and the show and the details of the matches. It's going to be me reviewing that, reviewing everything that happened on this show, Survivor Series. So it's going to be me reviewing Survivor Series. I just want to make this clear. Okay. What's up, DCX? Are you excited for the Survivor Series review, where it will entail me reviewing the superstars, the show, the women wrestlers, reviewing it all, reviewing the Survivor Series show? Are you excited for a review of this show that was on the WWE Network, that you would pay $9.99 for to review? Are you ready for this review of the show that I'm reviewing? Thank you, everybody in the comments. Thank you for joining me on this Survivor Series review. That I mean, honestly, I just can't wait to review. I can't wait to review a this show that was on the WWE Network, and just reviewing all the superstars and all the matches, and reviewing uh, every aspect of the show, because that's what I do. I review on this channel. Sometimes I get a little edgy. Sometimes I talk about politics. Sometimes I really break that fourth wall with the audience, and sometimes I might break characters. Sometimes you might bring in new characters. A bit of a fourth wall break there, but right now, I am responsible for just reviewing this show and reviewing the matches, reviewing the superstars, reviewing everything, and just reviewing this show. So, what do I have currently for a review? I have for a review the show tonight of Survivor Series just happened. It was a really great show, really fun show, and I can't wait to review it. You are going for reviewing. I'm up for reviewing. Review the show, review the hell out of it for the fans, and for the review, because that's what I do. I review on this channel, and I can't wait to review this glorious review the glorious show that was. Hi, Michael Plummer. Hi, DCX. How you doing? How's everybody in the house tonight? What's everyone drinking? What's everyone what's everyone pouring down their hatch? I guess you could say. Oh, no problem. Voting for gay marriage. You see, like when I saw that situation of gay marriage, I sort of reviewed the situation. I sort of looked at it. I sort of looked at the situation. I reviewed it. I reviewed all the aspects of the pros and cons of it. I reviewed every other part of it, because that's what I do. I honestly review. It's not just a YouTube channel. It's a lifestyle, and that's why I would like to review this show. I mean, like this show is one of the many things I review, because sometimes I mean, honestly, I just review everything in life, because I mean, what's not important, what's not important other than reviewing, because I mean, life is reviewing in a way, on how we can, like, together work as a country, because everyone needs to review the important issues, and I think that reviewing these issues is very important, very awesome. Like, because I mean, like, just like this show tonight was awesome. and I can't wait to honestly review the show. I um I can't wait to review the superstars. I mean, there were superstars tonight. There were divas. I mean, sorry, not divas. That is a very sexist term. Very, 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 very meninist sort of term. And I like to review the meninist sort of side of things. I was I was just reviewing all of these issues, but now that's a different story of reviewing. Right now I'm here to review the Survivor Series show, and just review all that I can. um so pretty much, sorry, I was getting a message on Facebook, and I was reviewing that message. Looking at it from a different angle, the different angles that I can, because that's what I do. I do review, and I was just reviewing the message that was given to me. Again, this is not just like, reviewing is just not part of my channel. It's a lifestyle, and what I do is review. Right now, we have Mufasa's Grape Garden, otherwise known as Kyle Brachero. I like, honestly, it's really good to look at this. I have a different aspect coming here when it comes to reviewing, because when it comes to reviewing life issues, reviewing the show, reviewing Survivor Series, I think all we need to do is review, because reviewing is a very important part. I reviewed that Mufasa's Grape Garden is actually Carl Brachetto, because he has gone to other hangouts before, and and I reviewed, I deduced that Kyle Brachetto was Mufasa's Grape Garden. Is my review correct? Mufasa's Grape Garden.
Before I could get to that, I just wanna get this out of the way now. Yes, I know a lot of you are wondering, oh, Kyle, you said you weren't going to join any hangouts anymore. Why the fuck are you on a hangout? Well, it's just I haven't been on a Sean Walker hangout in ages. So,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
he does great reviews. So I figured, okay, I'll hop on this one since he just sent out the link to me.
Yeah.
And
Mhm. Mhm.
he's a great guy. He's
Yeah.
one of the
Mhm.
best.
Mhm. Would you say that when I sent you the link, you reviewed that option, trying to look at maybe the pros and cons, like just like you would
Yes,
when you review a
yes,
show?
yes. So, like
Mhm.
I thought to myself, um, as I review the link,
Mhm.
what would I benefit from joining, and
Mhm.
what would have happened if I just ignored you and just left you to
Mhm.
yourself?
Mhm.
Like that. That's
Mhm.
what I was thinking.
Well,
That's
if that were to happen, I mean, just reviewing that hypothetical situation, that you reviewed or said you reviewed, if you were to leave me alone, I think the review would just keep going on, and possibly, like, I just keep going on, looking at the different situations, the pros and cons of what I can do to possibly make the show very entertaining as a one-man show, because I mean, it is a hard rap, reviewing, because reviewing by yourself, you don't have as many outlooks and as many aspects of the situation, which is why reviewing is so important in a way when it comes to more people, more than one. A lot of people don't realize that, and I think that reviewing gives that sort of aspect on life, especially in situations such as politics, in terms of
yes,
TV
of
shows, in
course.
terms of even tonight's show, Survivor Series, which we will be reviewing. I will be reviewing all the matches, all the superstars, all the women's wrestlers, reviewing every single aspect of the show, from the ring bell to the entrance music to the one, two, threes, all that. Everything will be reviewed. I will be reviewing this very, very soon. I will be reviewing it tonight. Everything will be reviewed. Absolutely. Um,
Yes, all seven matches. Will you be reviewing the pre-show, Sean, or did you not watch
I
that?
mean, I think I may review the Survivor Series pre-show. I might review. First, I'm just going to review some of the chat here. DCX, he wants me to review possibly giving DCX mods. I will review that. I will have a look at the different pros and cons of reviewing, of possibly giving the odds to, mods to DCX. I might review that situation, that crossroads of decisions, and I'll see what I can do. Hello Taco, hello Sodomizer, hello Rice Gum, hello Sean Savoy, and I like, that's like, I'm just reviewing all these guys because they are great aspects to a hangout, to a chat. And I
Yes.
just like to review the pros and cons of each of these people before I review the show, the superstars, the women wrestlers, from the ring bell to the 1, 2, 3. Before I review all aspects of that show and review everything that I can, because that's what life is about. I think it's about reviewing. It's not just a part of the channel; it's a lifestyle reviewing, and that's what I think I bring to the table. That's a lot different and edgier to all these other review channels.
All right, I'm gonna review this rice gum guy. Just look at
Mhm,
the way just look at the name. You know, rice gum. Like
mhm,
you would never think of rice and gum in the same sentence. Now, would you?
mhm. Now I'm just reviewing this situation. Reviewing all the parts of Rice Gum. Now Rice Gum is well, the name he is carrying after is after a famous YouTube channel called Rice Gum that was recently caught into the press, where he was very made fun of and mocked by another YouTuber, iDubbbz, just reviewing the situation over here. iDubbbz has a channel where he releases a series called Content Cop that criticizes people's content online, and then he reviews the videos, maybe things they have done outside of it that has made them into a possible villainous or a very looked at sort of person in the eye of the public, mostly in a negative way. And this is currently a fake account, as you can tell. The space, I reviewed that the space in between Rice Gum, because the original Rice Gum has no space in the middle of the name Rice Gum. In this one, it is Rice Gum. As you can tell by my pause, there's a space in between to indicate there are two words, while in the original channel there's only one word. I just want to review that before. I mean, I want to review this just before I get to reviewing the entire Survivor Series show, reviewing the superstars, the matches, the pre-show, the commentary, the ring bells, everything from the ring bell to the 1, 2, 3 guys. Reviewing is not just part of the channel; it's a lifestyle. Just want to let you know that. Okay, we currently have DCX in the chat talking about the Who, and what his favorite album is. Um, he said Quadrophenia. Quadrophenia, it's a really great album. I could just drop a quick review on that before I review the Survivor Series show and give my thoughts and my opinions on the show. I will review Quadrophenia, as it is a great album made by the Who. People do not know this. I'm just letting them go forward. For example, this album has it has a 17 track listing, clocking
Yes.
in at around an hour and 21 minutes and 36 seconds. You
Yes.
great songs like I Am the Sea, The Real Me, Quadrophenia, Cut My Hair, The Punk and the Godfather, I'm One, The Dirty Jobs, Helpless Dancer, Is It in My Head, I've Had Enough, 515, Sea and Sand, Drowned, Bellboy, Dr. Jimmy, The Rock. The Rock, I guess we could throw in a little edgier um, wrestling reference in there. As people know, The Rock was a superstar who was in the WWE during the
Yes.
Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era.
The
He was
Yahai guy definitely knows that.
Yep, yep, he most certainly does. He like the that's the thing about The Rock. He was a great figurehead for wrestling at the time. Of course, he had a memorable rivalry with Stone Cold Steve Austin, otherwise known as a big figurehead, the face of the WWE at the time of the Attitude Era, and they had great rivalries. Rocky came into the WWE scene as Rocky Maivia until he
Yep.
switched and changed his attitude, joining the Nation of Domination after becoming a Intercontinental Champion. And then he slowly started to change his attitude in general, calling himself The Rock rather than Rocky Maivia, and then going on to win other championships. This is the WWE Tag Team Championships and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and then the Undisputed Championship and other championships later on in his career, going on to WrestleMania 28, where he would go on and fight John Cena. And then WrestleMania 29, where he'd go and fight John Cena again, but this time he would have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship under his belt. Well, I guess in his belt, because it was his belt at the time. And then that's when he went on to WrestleMania and just disappeared for a little while as he was starring in movies at the time. He was already a movie star before. Now he was a movie star afterwards, and then he went on to host, or at least host WrestleMania 32. 32 was a big event. On that event, he sprayed a flamethrower in the before Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, spraying a flamethrower on his name. Didn't really make sense. It was a bit of more of a time waster, I feel, because I think there may have been difficulties backstage with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, but he managed to keep the show alive because it was a very alive show, a really great show, because that show did have Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar as one of the matches. Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns and the Triple H. Pardon me. I may have stopped there, but I reviewed my mistake, and I reviewed that I made a mistake, and I wanted to update my review and make sure that I was giving the correct information. But where was I? Um, and then that's when it was also Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks. We also had John Cena come onto the card and fight the Wyatt family. This was when they were a bit split up. They were still with each other. It wasn't very clear what was happening. It was a bit of an on and off thing. With the Wyatt family was back. They tried to attack John Cena, but The Rock came back, and then that's the link to The Rock. Anyway, um, that anyway that's what The Rock is. That's what The Rock's career is about. But back to the track listing of Quadrophenia. Love reign over me. I'm sorry, I can't say it. I mean, I'm very I can't. I don't know if I should say it. I think I should have reviewed that more carefully on how I should pronounce it, because I don't know, for some reason I just can't pronounce it tonight. Kyle is not here. I think he reviewed the situation, that he wasn't really contributing much to the situation, to the review. I mean, it was a bit more of a singular mindset. I think he reviewed that decision well. It's really up to him if he wants to come back or not. It's really up to him. I guess he'll review um, whether or not he wants to come back into the hangout. But anyway, before we get into all of that, we might speak a little bit on Kyle's decision before I get to reviewing Survivor Series. This is a Survivor Series review where I give my hot takes and my opinions on the show, the superstars, and the matches, and the women wrestlers, and the way that the championships look tonight, and the ring bell, from the 1, 2, 3 to the ring bell. People, I tell you this every time I review a show. Reviewing is not just about the matches; it's the lifestyle. I think everybody should review their situations in life and really look at the pros and cons of their situations. And I think that's what my reviews bring to the table, because I don't only bring an opinion on the show, I bring a philosophy to life. Review Queen's Greatest Hits before I review the Survivor Series review. No doubt about it, I can do that. DCX. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. I'm going to mute this live stream. Just going to review that situation. It may be dead air, but I'm just going to review it for now. Okay, I am back, guys. I reviewed the situation. I reviewed that call, and it may have been a bad review sort of situation, bad sort of step to accept the call, but I had to accept the call. Otherwise, there would have been repercussions on the other side if I did not get that information across. If there was shaved parmesan in the fridge, that was asked of me, and I had to review the situation. Otherwise, it was very important for later on in tonight when I review that situation. But now we're going to review Queen's Greatest Hits Volume 1. I'm reviewing this before I get into the Survivor Series review. I mean, this is what is being asked of me. I'm very sorry, people. Um, but it is what it is. I mean, this is what is asked of me. I cater to the fans. I want to review this situation of reviewing an entire album before I get into the Survivor Series review, where I will be reviewing the entire show, reviewing the match from the matches to the the superstars, the women wrestlers, the way the championship looks, from the ring bell to the 1, 2, 3 guys. I am a committed reviewer, and I will be reviewing the show tonight. But first, I'm going to be reviewing Queen's Greatest Hits, Volume 1, as requested by DCX. Now, we currently have Bohemian Rhapsody, which is arguably their most well-known song of all time. This is a very great song. It's very progressive rock. You could put this under many umbrellas of genres: rock music, heavy metal, hard rock, pop rock, progressive rock, and rock opera, as it is. As it has been described in the past, really great guitars, guitar quality, definitely on this album. Great production. Freddie Mercury's voice it's as powerful as anything anyone has ever heard. I'm quite sure that everyone is aware of Queen and aware of what they have done in terms of the music industry. So we had from the 1970s, this band was a very hard hitter in terms of bringing forward a new style of rock. We had Freddie Mercury on lead vocals, John Deacon on bass, guitar, and the keyboards. He was there from 1971. In 1970, though, it was Brian May and Roger Taylor. Brian May was on guitar, keyboards, and vocals. Roger Taylor was on drums, guitar, keyboards, and vocals. This was probably the main band that really got it really shot the band, into popularity, as they were a 3-man band until they became a 4-man band when acquiring John Deacon in 1971. And Bohemian Rhapsody was definitely a song that showed that this band was not to be reckoned with, as it was a very popular band, a very progressive band in terms of rock. And Bohemian Rhapsody is definitely that part of that situation, becoming one of the biggest bangers and songs that everyone around the world has either heard or come to love. It's almost like everyone knows the song Bohemian Rhapsody when they hear Bohemian Rhapsody. Another one, Bites the Dust. That is the second on this track listing of Queen's Greatest Hits, Volume 1 by Queen. And another one, Bites the Dust. Another great track, another song that everyone knows. Everyone has really got almost a knee-jerk reaction to knowing. A very referenced song in terms of movies, in terms of the public's opinion in general, and it's definitely a great song with that nice beat, otherwise known as a song that people will, funnily enough, use in CPR situations. Some people may look at Staying Alive as the rainer down, the hold, the champion of CPR. But sometimes a lot of people think of Another One Bites the Dust with that boom, 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 boom. That one. That was it. Okay, I'm gonna review that situation. That review of the beat. That was totally not Another One Bites the Dust. It's boom, 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 boom. Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum. I said pardon me. I've gotten confused with the bits. I'm sorry. I reviewed that decision to make that joke, and now I don't know if I don't know if it's really helped my sort of situation here. Reviewing that joke. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. See that beat? That's very well known. Very, but I mean that rhythm, that sort of thing, and it's used for it's used for CPR. I'm sure they reviewed that situation. Queen, maybe they were looking at that, but we're gonna move on the track listing. We're gonna go on number 3 in the track listing, which is Killer Queen. Killer Queen, another very well known Queen anthem. A lot of the songs on this are very well known on the in Queen's discography. Killer Queen, in comparison to Bohemian Rhapsody and another one, Bites the Dust. Killer Queen maybe not as well known, but it's still a very well known song in the discography of Queen. That is arguable, I must say. Now we're going to move down to number 4, which is Fat Bottom Girls. Fat Bottom Girls, it almost on par with Queen in terms of popularity, maybe not in quality. It's very looked at song in terms of its weird, quirky sort of way delivery. And there's no exception of saying that for the next song, which is Bicycle Race. Bicycle Race, a bit more of a controversial song in Queen's discography. Some people have very mixed feelings about the song because of its very I'd say weird lyrics, very out of the box sort of lyrics, and Queen really excelled in making this a song that was remembered for the ages. A wrestler otherwise known as Shinsuke Nakamura, who is on Survivor Series card tonight. I will be reviewing Survivor Series. I will be reviewing the matches, the superstars, the women wrestlers, from the championships to the ring bell to the 1, 2, 3, folks. I will be reviewing this show tonight. But we're just reviewing this quickly because it was the asked of DCX to review Queen's biggest hits. And you know what? Guess what? I review for my fans. But moving on forward, we currently have Bicycle Race. This is a favorite of Shinsuke Nakamura, as he said on the Chris Jericho interview. Chris Jericho is a superstar. He is he's currently not wrestling, but he is currently in his band Fozzy, which he is touring. He's currently on a cruise that is a very sought after cruise. A lot of wrestlers on there, such as Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was a former wrestler in the WWE. Sorry, I reviewed my decision to cough, and I had to. Otherwise, I would be very hoarse tonight. And it would have been would have been awful. But anyway, Cody Rhodes was a wrestler that was a world champion at one point and was also a intercontinental champion, a tag team champion as part of Legacy. But and then he sort of left WWE last year, almost after the passing of Dusty Rhodes. It seemed like a very contentious time, but now he is currently in other indie promotions. But we're gonna move on. And so is Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is on there. Everyone knows Rey Mysterio as a former world heavyweight champion and tag team champion. And Rey Mysterio is a very well known Mexican luchador. He was in WCW till moving to the WWE. We had a very close relationship with Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is also a very well-known wrestler. He started out in indie promotions. I believe he moved into the WCW, and then he was moved into WWE. Where he became a world heavyweight champion at No Way Out against Brock Lesnar. After he was famously called for cheating from Taz, where Goldberg speared Brock Lesnar, and it started that feud, the one that led to the match at WrestleMania 20. WrestleMania 20 was a great card. We had matches such as Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Maybe not known for its well known payoff, but it definitely had a nice build up that everyone was looking forward to. Those two had a very great rivalry, but it sort of landed flat, which is why later on, earlier this early on this year, they at WrestleMania 33, we had Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar one more time. But before that, we did have them at Survivor Series in 2016, where Goldberg finished Brock Lesnar with only a matter of seconds. And then he went on to the Royal Rumble, where Goldberg did come up short, but at Fastlane managed to secure a spot into the WrestleMania card after spearing Kevin Owens and winning the match in a successful fashion due to the distraction of Chris Jericho. Now Chris Jericho is currently in Fozzy, where he just had Judas land on the number 5 of the Billboard charts on on rock, I believe. But anyway, where were we? I'm just not entirely sure where we were. That's right. Queen's Greatest Hits Volume 1. We're gonna move on next to Bicycle Race. Wait, sorry, no, Bicycle Race was not. I know the next is You're My Best Friend. You're My Best Friend. It's another well-known song of Queen, maybe a little bit lesser known than the songs that I had previously mentioned, but still a great one in Queen's discography. But I'd say it's still quite well known to a lot of people, especially after its very breakout success, but not to mention um, it was in the film in 2002, I believe it was, Shaun of the Dead. When was that? 2005. Guys, I'm gonna have to review that decision because I don't want to review and give you guys false information. I want to review and give you guys the correct information. Okay, it was 2004. Pardon me. So, and in 2004. It was used in Shaun of the Dead, a very well-known, famous English comedy by famous English director Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright is known for his Cornetto trilogy, including Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. Not to mention, he did write and almost direct Ant-Man until there were great there were great difficulties in production. Uh, Ant-Man is a currently big movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Some reviewers their favorite. May not be my favorite, but it's definitely a good one. I definitely say because of Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd definitely had a great part in bringing this movie to life, along with all the other actresses and actors that were brought forward into this into this into this universe of movies. When I say universe of movies, I'm regarding to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is a line of movies that are very famously well known. It started off with Iron Man. Iron Man was a very famous movie, a very big hit, a box office smash, as they call it. Um, and it then spurred on a new line of movies. It started the Iron Man sequel, but not to mention the Captain America opening of Marvel. Now, this does not count the Spider-Man movies of sorry, of of Sam Raimi. Of Sam Raimi. This is including Post. This is not even including the movies that were made in close time, otherwise known as the Amazing Spider-Man series, where Andrew Garfield was playing Spider-Man, as rights were owned by Sony at the time until Marvel managed to buy the Spider-Man license and work Spider-Man into the cinematic universe where he would be played by Tom Holland and not Andrew Garfield. Um, anyway, Marvel Marvel Cinematic Universe did spur on a great line of movies such as Captain America, the sequel to Iron Man, Thor. It then went on to spur other great movies in the future, otherwise known as Guardians of the Galaxy, which is very well known. Not to mention um, Doctor Strange, AntMan, not to mention the Avengers, where they did manage to collide all the Marvel Cinematic Universe superstars, and they managed to really bring forward a new element to superhero movies and how they are perceived. It's a very generic sort of layout, though, which has been a criticism of all the Marvel movies so far, except for things like Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd say. I mean, maybe a weaker villain, I'd say, but then again, you didn't really notice it. Guardians of the Galaxy has a bit more of a stylistic difference that would sort of it evades those original issues that Marvel movies often do suffer from. Um, but anyway, back to Queen's Queen's Greatest Hits Volume One. Don't Stop Me Now. Don't Stop Me Now, another great song. Very famous. Very a very famous song in Queen's discography, used in a lot of movies such as Shaun of the Dead. And as you know, as I explained before, Shaun of the Dead is part of the Cornetto trilogy, popularized by Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright has directed movies such as Baby Driver, where we have had a situation where it starred a great line of actors, including Kevin Spacey. Now, Kevin Spacey lately has been in the news for coming out as gay, but a lot of it also was met with backlash due to the fact that he mentioned this at the exact same time that he was called out for molesting a 14-year-old boy. And he should have reviewed that situation more carefully, and addressed the situation, and not come out of that at that time because it felt like deflecting. He's a very horrible human being. I'm going to review that sort of statement right there, and I think my review is correct that this person is a horrible human being. Um, but anyway, let's move on forward to Don't Stop Me Now. I mean, Save Me, not as well known in the Queen's discography. I don't even remember this song. What is Save Me like? I'm gonna listen to the song and then I'm gonna review it. I'm trying to review this, but my internet is not being kind to me. Okay, I'm aware of this song. This is a very good song. And I think Again, probably not one of the most well known in comparison to Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm just saying that, not saying it's not well known, because it is a very good song in Queen's discography in terms of taking a different style to that hard rock sort of style that everyone was sort of looking at them as. Actually, now that scratch that, because they did get a little bit harder towards the end. It was a bit more of like like a bit more of an opening, a bit more of like a crescendo. It's really great. It's a really great payoff. Um, but we're gonna move on to the next track, Crazy Little Thing Called Love. I think this is a bit more well known, as it did feature Just Dance 3. Just Dance 3 is part of a long sequel of games under the Just Dance name, as it did start off with Just Dance, Just Dance 1. It was just called Just Dance at the time. This is an exclusive game on the game that was exclusive to the Nintendo Wii. And then it went on to Just Dance 2, until it went on to Just Dance 3, which opened up the scales a little bit more in terms of going on to different platforms, such as the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. This is when they well, in this year they released a long line of stuff, such as ABBA You Can Dance, Just Dance Kids, and Just Dance Kids 2, Just Dance Summer Party, Just Dance Wii, Just Dance The Best of in 2012, Just Dance Wii 2. And then in 2012, they also released Just Dance 4, not to mention Just Dance Disney Party, the hip hop dance experience. And then in 2013, managed to release Just Dance 2014 and Just Dance Kids 2014. And in 2014, they released Just Dance Wii U, and then Just Dance Now, and Just Dance 2015. And now in 2015, they released Just Dance 2016, Just Dance Disney Party 2. But in 2016, they released their first ever karaoke project, otherwise known as Just Sing. But they did not hold out in a Just Dance game. They did come out with Just Dance 2017, not only to follow it up in 2017 with Just Dance 2018. These games have been fairly reviewed. Nothing has really changed, I would say, in terms of their in terms of in terms of their integrity. They are a very simple game, and I guess the only thing you can really review is the track list, and I guess the dance moves that go along with it. But at the end of the day, still a very well-known a company, Ubisoft, developing the game, and a very known long line series of games. But not to mention, now we have Just Dance, the app. Apparently, it's on the phone. Just Dance Now. Just Dance Now was very sought after and well known, I'd say, when it came to the Emoji Movie. While the movie was not reviewed in a very the movie was not reviewed very positively. Um, uh, it did make a lot of money at the box office, clocking in at $214.2 million, with only a budget of $50 million. So they managed to make $164.2 million. And I think that a lot of those people went home and downloaded the Just Dance app, and really reviewed that decision of downloading this great app that was that was that was praised highly and used as a plot device in the well-known Emoji Movie. The Emoji Movie featured Um, a featured a story that reads as hidden inside a smartphone, the bustling city of Textopolis is home to all emojis. Each emoji has only one facial expression, except for Gene. Gene is our main, our main actor, voice actor in this movie, playing Gene, played by TJ Miller, and Gene, who is an exuberant emoji with multiple expressions, determined to become normal like the other emojis. Gene enlists the help of his best friend High Five and a notorious code breaker called Jailbreak. And during their travels through the other apps, this other apps include Candy Crush, Just Dance, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, just a great myriad of apps. Uh, yeah, the three emojis discover a great danger that could threaten their phone's very existence. This involves Patrick Stewart, who plays a piece of poo. Patrick Stewart plays a piece of shit. um. Anyway, back to the review of Queen's Greatest Hits, Volume One. Crazy little thing called "Love" is the Nat song in the track listing. Maybe I'd say it's pretty famous. It's just as famous as "Save Me." Uh, yes, after the Just Dance game, we went through all of that. But then next we go into "Somebody to Love." Somebody to Love. I'd say this is almost even on par with Bohemian Rhapsody, or maybe just under it. I'd say. I mean, it's. I'm just trying to get the point across. This is a very well known song, very well known in the discography of Queen. Very sung along, almost a crowd anthem that everyone knows. Probably one of the most famous love songs, I'd say, on the planet. Um, especially even though this was already a very, very, very famous song, this was used in the movie Happy Feet. Happy Feet was a animated movie directed by I believe it was his name is directed by George Miller. George Miller. I mean, like, the first off, I'm just gonna say that this, the main actor is played by Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood was in Lord of the Rings, trilogy, and a lot of other things. And Mumble, the main character, Happy Feet, is a young emperor penguin who lives in Antarctica. And like others of his kind, he needs to be able to sing to attract a mate, but he has a terrible voice. Instead, Mumble must express himself and lure a female through his amazing talent for tap dancing. This made a lot of money in the box office, 384.3 million, and it was reviewed quite highly of yeah, reviewed quite highly amongst reviewers. Pretty well known. But I digress. George Miller directed this. George Miller is known for directing a bunch of movies, mainly for his Mad Max series and uh, his take on Babe. Babe, a very famous movie in terms of the kids movie aspect, and he's definitely known for the future of what's to come with Mad Max: The Wasteland, which is a follow up to the 2015 Mad Max: Fury Road, which will be coming soon. and then he will be um directing Justice League Mortal, which is a superhero film. You know what, guys? I'm gonna review Survivor Series. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now. So what I thought of this show